If you ever Google Copenhagen, Denmark, you must have seen the image coming from this street. This is NYHAVN. This used to be an old Danish commercial port here in Copenhagen. But above all, it has a lot of history going back to years. Here is the house of one of the most prominent Danes, Christian Andersen. His history has transcended Denmark, Europe, and he has crossed over the world. He wrote the book that is taught across the world, in China, in Australia, I think in America too, in Africa. Now we're having Christian Andersen. And that's why I'm interested in sharing with you a very beautiful recap of what happens here. So let's go on the street of NYHAVN and see for ourselves what happens here. So right from a distance, this is NYHAVN, a very popular part of Copenhagen. It's a very beautiful part of Copenhagen, NYHAVN. You can see historically, this used to be the docking port for ships across the world in 14, 15, 1600, coming back to 1700. But now it's just a narrow strip of canal that tourists come to know more about Denmark, but also sail in tour boats here. From here you can buy a ticket, that you can use to tour the water of Copenhagen. So here there are a lot of bars and restaurants. From here, let's get up so we can have a good view. So basically this is the most popular part of Copenhagen. It's called the NYHAVN. So if you want to tour through the canal in Copenhagen, you come here and buy a ticket and then take one of these boats and then you go. But you can see the remains of the old boats of the days by the side now. Most of them are just restaurants or just parked by the side of the canal. It's pretty beautiful. Let's keep walking. I think it's safe to go this way. So here is mostly bars and restaurants. Still cold, but in summer you find people all over this place. Seated and enjoying themselves. Some of these boats were made here, constructed here. They hold the history of this beautiful part of Copenhagen. There, if you want to take the canal tour, buy the ticket and get in. one of these boats and then have a beautiful canal tour. Denmark, Copenhagen have one of the best waters you'll experience. So this new one, number 17. So here is very historical to the Den. That's why it's very preserved. The buildings of the 1400s, 1500s, the houses that, you know, is how it might have looked during that time when here was a busy docking port for international ships doing business across the world. So it's very colorful, as you can see. So I'm told one of these houses lived one of the most prominent Den in the history of Denmark, Christian Andersen. We need to find out which one of these houses he lived in. Hi. By any chance, you know where Christian Andersen lived? When this
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay, thank you. As I've told you, Denmark have very clean water. So clean. As I've said before, this must be one of the most photographed part of Copenhagen, Denmark. Beautiful, isn't it? With all these colorful buildings. And you can see that they are always renovated. They keep them in check so they don't lose their history. So there are a lot of bars and restaurants here, and it's a place that you have to visit whenever you come to Copenhagen or you live in Denmark. This is. Do you know where Christian Andersen lived in one of these buildings?
No, actually. Yeah.
I told he lived in one of these buildings. So I'm trying to look for it out.
I don't know.
But
But you can actually see.
I think I can Google
Visit
it.
Copenhagen
Mm.
website. Maybe they can.
Yeah.
Google is
Yeah. I just that I'm using the same phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Enjoy. Yeah. Still a very beautiful adventure. We're on the opposite side, and both sides have these beautiful buildings. So this place was fully preserved from the history of Copenhagen. The buildings, you know, way old buildings, but they are colorful, they're nice, they're beautiful. So that's why I'm really impressed with this. Looks exactly like what you see in your images. So these are some of the older boats that no longer work, but maybe this works. But yeah, they're here. So most of the prominent places of Copenhagen, the historical parts, are in walking distance. That's the most important part. You don't have to like take long distance. So you see, as you say, this building from the 1756. It's amazing how history is preserved here. So we are at the far end of NYHAVN. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share. This is the most popular street of Copenhagen. So see you in the next one.